Hey everybody, I got a real quick lesson for you today. Hopefully it'll be about 5 minutes of your time. I'd ask you to watch it, enjoy it, like and share, comment on it, and just let me know if it helps you at all. But one of the most important things about learning guitar, we've talked about it a lot, learning keys. Key of C, key of F, key of G, with an A minor, key of D, key of A. There's all kinds of different keys you can play in and how they flow together. We've done a video on the circle of fifths and how they all function together. I'll put the link down there for you to get to it as well. But today, I just want to touch really briefly, maybe 5 minutes, like I said, on the importance of rhythm. Rhythm is important. Rhythm is what gives beat to a song. It gives flow to a song. It keeps things in time. When you have dynamic changes in music, most of the time a dynamic change in music is going to be a higher volume or intensity to a lower volume and intensity. Not very often is it a faster song to a slower song. A lot of the time, the rhythm stays very constant while other dynamics rise and fall. And so one of the most important things in rhythm as a guitar player is strumming. Now, I just want to show you just a few strumming patterns. Honestly, for me to be honest with you all about strumming, I never sat down and was taught any strumming patterns. I just kept playing, and then it started feeling right, and I just kept going with it. So I just kind of learned it. But here are some different views on not views, but different thoughts on strumming patterns and how they can really change the way a song sounds. Okay, so here's a real basic strumming pattern. It's just up, it's just down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Very basic, very simple. We're gonna go 1, 5, 6, 4, 6, 1. Those are the chords we're going to use. So we're going to go C, which is the 1, 5 is G, 6 is E minor, 4 is F, back to the 4, which is the G, back to the 5, which is the G, and back to the 1, all right? So that's going to be our flow. We're going to do that, but we're going to do all of them in different rhythmic patterns to show you how different these strumming patterns will work. Now, here's the first one. Ready? Number 1, up, down, which is just up, down, 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 up. That's all it is. Very simple stuff. So here's how it plays. 1, 4, 5, 6, 4, back to the 5, and back to the 1. So you can see that kind of has a folky feel, maybe just kind of a real, at the most edgy, a soft rock feel, but kind of a country folky feel to it as well. Now, that's very simple. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now, when you do this, you don't want to be like really hard when you're strumming, because that's gonna make it sound really. It's gonna make it sound too messy. You want to kind of hold the pick light. Now, I have a very heavy pick. I use a 1.14 pick, but you can use a 0.76 pick or 0.66 pick, whatever you want, but you just want to strum it smooth so it comes out nice and smooth and nice and soft sounding, because you're not trying to be too edgy here. See that? Back to the 4 with the F, 5, back to the 1. All right? Now, let's add a little bit of country flair to this. We're going to kind of do a little quick down, and then down, up, down, up, down. We're going to have accent kind of the low notes. Like that, okay? So we're going to start with our 1 and C. Ready? To the 5. 6. To the 4. Back to the 5. Back to the 1. And you can do this a little bit more. You can rather than going like down and then up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up. You can do it a little more frequently. See? Down, down, up, down, up. So it goes like that. Boom. And that's a little bit more of an old school country feel as well. And what you're doing is with the initial down hit, you're trying to only hit one note, which would be the bass note of the chord. Missed that one. There it is. See that? 1, 5, 6 to the 4. So that gives a little bit more of a feel to it. All right. So those are some two very, very common country, old school country, maybe some old school gospel or bluegrassy feel to it. So here's another one. This is a really more of an aggressive strumming pattern. It's just going to be straight down on the quarter notes. So what a quarter note is if you're in 4/4, it's one beat per measure. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are quarter notes. You know, each note is a quarter of the measure. So 1, 2, 3, 4 would be 4 quarters. So the quarter note. So if we're like 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's certain times with certain dynamics in songs where you might be accenting certain hits in the drums. You might just want to drive that on the quarter notes. So it's 1, 5, 6, 4, 5, 1. See how it really changes the flow of the song. The feel of the song went from being from like a country to this like edgy bridge section. Now, to take that kind of feel, you can add little up downs as well, just to add a little bit more dynamic to it. So it just gives you a little bit more. So you're still driving it, you have that feeling, but you're also adding a little up downs every so often just to kind of give it a little more fullness as well. Now, you can take this to the next level. Instead of making quarter notes, make it eighth notes. An eighth note is you break up your bar into eighths. So you got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's how you get to eighths. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. There's 8 notes in one measure. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1. And that's all down. So that gives you another edge to it when you're going now. Now, when I play this type of stuff, it's usually when we're driving a chorus. I usually have my Duesenberg electric guitar. So if I was in the key of G, I like to drive it right here. This is a G as well. It's almost like a D configuration without the last note there. So I just move it up here, and I'll be like. Back to the D, back to G. That's D. E minor, back to C. And so that kind of gives you that little edge to it, all right? And the last one I want to show you is just kind of like, there's so many different feels. And honestly, when you play guitar and you hear a song, you're going to have to just kind of roll with it, whatever feels right in the song. But I'm going to play like a song that I really like from Elevation Worship. It's a 6/8 song, which is completely different. 6/8 instead of 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But it's called More Than Able. And I'm going to play this one in C because it's very high in E flat. And I don't want to sing it so loud. I'm just going to sing a little bit as well. But when you play it, you'll see how my drum patterns go. You're going to see that I'm going to have a mixture of the down up, down up, down up, maybe even some, initial down and then stroke, maybe even some driving to it, and maybe even a little bit of some picking, okay? And you'll see how these kind of flow together to create unique styles per song, all right? So here it is. You are more than able. You are more than able. Who am I to deny what the Lord can do? So as you can see, there was a lot of up down, but the up down was really right on the, it wasn't syncopated, it was right on the beats, just like this. So even though it was up down, it didn't really have a country flair. It had more of just a soft rock flair. Up down, and then when I would walk down, often I would accent the low note and then strum through. So when you're playing these songs and you have these different strumming patterns, you just experiment with them, and you'll find whatever feels right for the song is where you are good to go. All right? So thank you so much for watching. Hope this helps. Let me know in the comments below what helps. Go ahead and like and share this with your friends, and let's play guitar together.